ladies and gentlemen, whenever there is a top 10 best movies of 2010, it is time to talk about the worst movies of 2010. Yes, I decided to talk about the worst movies as well, because not much people really do that. They mostly talk about their best movies of the last decade. Maybe I'm wrong, there are some people that could do their worst, but I feel like I can't do top 10 best without talking about worst. So I'm going to add worst to this franchise category. So we're going to talk about the shittiest movies of 2010, and I don't think anyone would remember the bad movies that came out in 2010. Maybe I'm wrong about that. If you guys see these movies on my worst list, you'll be like, oh, I remember I saw that movie. So I'm here to refresh your memories right now, talking about my least favorite movies that came out in 2010. Now, not all of these movies I've seen in theaters. There are some times that I see these movies on TV and I noticed they came out in 2010. Some of them I did watch in theaters, so I'm mixing it up a little bit. So guys, these are the movies that I hate in 2010. This is the final video for 2010, and next week we're going to talk about 2011. So, here we go. What are we waiting for? Let's start talking about the top 10 worst movies that came out in 2010.
Number 10.
Now, with my number 10 and number 9, these are the movies that I don't officially hate, but they're just movies that I'm really let down by. So, starting off with number 10 is Shrek Forever After. Now, I'm a fan of Shrek. I loved the first two Shreks. I grew up with the first two Shrek movies. Then Shrek the Third was fine. It had some decent moments. Shrek Forever After is one of the most unnecessary fourth installments that I've ever seen. It goes to this really cliched It's a Wonderful Life story, and they just made it into one of the most cliched animated films that I have seen. And especially that this is the final chapter of the Shrek franchise, and now we find out there's going to be a new Shrek coming out. It just felt so misplaced. And we got one of the most annoying animated villains that I've ever seen, Rumpelstiltskin. I hated this character to the bottom of my heart. Very disappointing. Most disappointing finale to one of my favorite anime franchises as a kid.
Number 9.
Yes, I'm putting Iron Man 2 on my top 10 worst movies of 2010. Yep, I'm not afraid to admit. Now, like I said before, with 10 and 9, I don't hate these movies. These are the movies I'm just disappointed at. Yep, Iron Man 2 is one of those movies because I was a big Iron Man fan. I loved the first Iron Man movie until Iron Man 2 came out, and I was like so pumped, especially when I saw the trailers when I was 10. I was so pumped. So of course I've seen Iron Man 2 in theaters, and I was bored out of my mind. The characters weren't as great as they were in the first movie. There's just too many plots going on. We got the worst villain, in my opinion, of the MCU, Whiplash. Give me my bud. Where's my bud? This movie's just so out of the place. There are so many plot elements. War Machine was cool in the film. Don Cheadle did a really great job, and that's probably the best part about this movie, the final act. Before that though, it's just very hit and miss.
Number 8.
Alright, now we gotta get into the really shit movies that came out in 2010. Like I said, 10 and 9 are the most disappointing movies. Now we're gonna get into the stink bomb. A Nightmare on Elm Street, in my opinion, is one of the worst horror movie remakes that I've ever seen. I was about to mumble, so movie, but I said movie remakes. It's one of the worst movie remakes ever. If you think The Lion King is the movie that copies exactly from the original, watch A Nightmare on Elm Street, and it basically pays tribute to the original movies in a really shitty way. Fun fact, Rooney Mara, the main star in this film, actually admitted this film is shit. She wanted to destroy her career after that film. She wanted to quit after this movie was made. That's a fun fact. That's how shitty this new Nightmare on Elm Street movie is. And they're trying to make a backstory for Freddy Krueger, which is very interesting and honestly the best part of the movie. But when Rorschach is playing Freddy Krueger, I would have been excited for that. But no, he really disappointed me. He just looks like a CGI character. And this movie is not as scary. The original is much more scarier than this movie right here.
Number 7.
Percy Jackson and Lightning Thief, or Percy Jackson and the Olympians, the Lightning Thief, is basically Harry Potter if they made it boring as shit. Literally, Logan Lerman, this is the first time I've seen Logan Lerman, and he's a great actor, but in this movie, he feels like he's bored out of his mind. He just has one emotion in this film. Oh, what is this camp? Oh, why is this going on? Why is that? That's basically Logan Lerman in this film. I heard the books are very, very popular, so when I see a movie that is so boring as shit that's based on really good books, this movie made me want to read the books. Because I'm sure the books are better than this shit.
Number 6.
That's right, Bobo! Yogi Bear is on the worst list! It's basically Alvin and the Chipmunks, but with Yogi Bear! Yogi, Why are you happy about that? That's not a good thing. We suck. That's right, Bobo. We suck. We have actors that don't want to be in this movie. Anna Faris, why the hell is she in this movie? Like, she doesn't even play a funny character, she plays like a lady in the film, it's so miscast. Yeah, and the main guy that plays the ranger in the film feels like he's bored out of his mind, and then he does Flash later on. He was actually better in that show. That's right, Bobo! Yogi Bear shit! Move along!
Number 5.
So, we're up to the top 5 shittiest movies of 2010. These are the movies that I remember seeing, and I hated. And these are the movies that I actually saw on TV. I didn't watch in theaters. One of them is Jonah Hex. Wow, what a missed opportunity right there. It reminds me of Wild Wild West, but as a comic book film. That's basically what it is, and it's not a good sign. I feel bad for Josh Brolin, because this bounty hunter is so badass. Like, I read the comics of Jonah Hex, and it's actually really good. So when I watched the movie, I didn't even know there was a movie about Jonah Hex, so I watched it, and all I see is Megan Fox, and this movie's like 75 minutes long. Basically the exact same minutes of Dragon Ball Evolution. That's not a good sign. This movie could have been 2 hours. But at the same time, I'm kind of glad it's short, because this movie's just bland as shit. What a missed opportunity. Like, John Malkovich and Michael Fassbender, like, why?
Number 4.
Gulliver's Travels is just a disrespectful movie to its own literature. Like, I know they're trying to do a modern version of Gulliver's Travels. I get that. They're trying to make that modern and fun for kids. But when you cast Jack Black in the film, and the first scene you see with, you know, Gulliver and the Lilliputians, I can't even say what they're called. You know, the little people. You just see the little people just pulling down his pants, and one of the little people just got sucked up in Jack Black's ass. I'm not even joking. That freaking happened in the film. And then the film just goes into Shark Tale plot. You know, a guy pretending to be someone that he's not. It goes in that cliche elements. There were parts that were actually in the literature book because I have read it, and that's really good. But the movie just turns out as a missed opportunity, and it just turns out as a really shitty, jackass comedy movie with Gulliver's Travels in it.
Number 3.
Now, I hate Twilight. I really do. I hate Twilight. Nope, it's not Twilight Eclipse. It's not going to be on my list. But there is a movie that I don't think anyone remembers, and it parodies Twilight. But not just that, it parodies Black Eyed Peas, and Alice in Wonderland, and other shitty stuff. Even Lady Gaga. Yeah, I think everyone's like refreshing their memories right now, because Vampires Suck. I remember I saw this movie once. And that's all I see. Just random parodies of just shitty movies right there. Who remembers Vampires Suck? I'm trying to make you guys not remember it more. And you're thinking, there's a movie like that parodies Twilight? Yeah, before 50 Shades of Black, that's parodying the shittiest movie, there's Vampire Sucks that parodies Twilight. These spoof movies is trying to hide that it's like one of those guys that's behind Epic Movie and all that stuff. They're just trying to hide it. Why has 20th Century Fox and Regency Enterprises like agreed to do this project? I don't know, they're probably high as hell when they find out they're in this project.
Number 2.
Alright guys, number 2 and number 1. These are the movies that I hate in 2010. These are the 2 movies that I remember seeing, and I'm just like, I'm never going to see these movies ever, ever, ever again. Yeah, have you guys remembered Fairy Vengeance? A movie that probably broke Brendan Fraser's career. A movie about animals that's just trying to break Brendan Fraser's career. That actually didn't happen in the movie, but that's what it seems like it happened. Oh my god, Fairy Vengeance. I've watched this movie. I've watched this movie in theaters, and I was 10 years old. And I hate the movie, and I was 10 years old. Just... Fairy Vengeance is terrible. It's really fucking terrible. Just everything about it. It just goes in this, oh, these animals are trying to protect their forest, so they're doing this Home Alone aspect with Brendan Fraser. Just Hollywood couldn't think of any ideas right now.
Number 1.
Alright guys, let's talk about the worst movie that I have seen in 2010. I feel like everyone would know what my number 1 is, because they're looking at the 2010, movies, and they're thinking, where is this movie? Why isn't this movie on Owen's top 10 worst movies of 2010, tributing the last decade? It's on my number 1, and everyone knows. It is The Last Airbender. Woo! Yes, congratulations. If you guys think The Last Airbender is my number one, the worst list, you guys deserve an applause. You guys deserve it. You guys deserve it. Thank you. Because it can't be the worst movie without 2010 without talking about The Last Airbender. M. Night Shyamalan. You're done happening, and now you're just ruining our childhoods. Yes, I've seen Avatar: The Last Airbender. I used to love this show. And I watched the movie, and it just disrespected the show. Oh my god. Why is Dave Patel in this? Why is the acting so shit? Why is the story so shit? Why is the action so shit? Why has M. Night Shyamalan agreed to do this project? Why is this movie even made? Why? Why? I can go on talking about The Last Airbender all day. Everyone knows why The Last Airbender is terrible. If someone likes this movie, you basically haven't seen the show. That is basically who you are. Or if you like the show and you like this movie, I am very, very confused. My god, The Last Airbender is just embarrassing, and it's a disgrace to the animated show. It's just a huge disgrace right there. My god, The Last Airbender is my number one worst movie of 2010. So guys, that is the end of 2010. Next week, stay tuned for 2011 week. Now it's 2010 week. Now next week, we're going to talk about some 2011 movies. So guys, what is your favorite movie of 2010 and what is your worst movie of 2010? Either make your top 10 list. Let me know in the comments below because I really want to know your opinion. Hopefully you guys enjoyed these lists so far. I actually really enjoy them. I love turning back time, going back in time, talking about these movies that came out in 2010. And hopefully you guys are okay during this coronavirus. Hopefully you guys are not sick. Hopefully you guys are being well. I know staying at home sucks, but we're doing this to keep ourselves safe. So please be patient, it will go away soon. So guys, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure you guys subscribe my channel, notified for my latest reviews, and make sure you guys follow me on Facebook, Stardust, Instagram, Twitter. Thank you guys so much for watching once again, and have a nice day.